Alright. Hello. I'm here. Oh, I'm really quiet too. Hello. This is Lapis Lettuce, and this is what do I even want to call this? Like track analysis. Analysis. Greasy analysis. Perfect. We are here today at Bahrain. You can see the flag there. Bahrain. Oh, it's broken. What is it broken for? Heck nah, we gotta fix that. Oh! There we go. I don't know who broke the flag, but it is good now. That looks like garbage. What is that? Alright, I'm not gonna start. Bro. Okay, anyway. We're on the track one of the FC 2023 season. FC1 2023 season. This is Bahrain. This was the first race of the year. Happened on March 5th? Yeah, March 5th. Happened on March 5th. And it went pretty good. But anyways, this is here. I've got the analysis of my track right here. This is my PB with using no block stop, as you can see. I want to show the no block stop line and analyze exactly what I was doing to hopefully help some people, help provide some insight to how I go about putting down these times. And so let's just get into this. I've got the game up here just in case I want to show anything really cool and specific. So let's do this. Starting off here, obviously we just go up to the line, but I can't skip ahead 30 seconds because it's not that far. So coming down this side, coming down the straightaway, you can see that there's a mixed ice right here. Obviously, try to avoid that. Don't want to hit the packed ice blocks, want to stay on this blue ice. Easy, like that. We reverse onto this packed ice. Honestly, I had a little marker here. I think a little marker right at the end, like right at the end of the blue ice. That's when I would want to start reversing, right about there. You know, you can see I'm approximately halfway right here in between. I should probably drag this into Premiere Pro and just watch this in here. That way I can go by frame analysis. Let me do that real quick. Okay. I've got this up here. Here we go. Now I can go like frame by frame and whatnot. Let's just put a full replay on this so it's like really good. So anyways, I was saying right here, I about reverse right here. I'm about 90 degrees right here. I guess that means naturally I sort of had a reverse marker, probably this thing right here. And on these high speed corners where you're having to reverse pretty hard, it's good to have like a turn marker. I don't think I really relied on the turn marker that well. It was kind of a subconscious thing that I did, was, you know, like, okay, once I get right about here, I start turning, and so by the time I get here, I start doing this. And so like this one kind of became this corner kind of came naturally to me. Didn't really use a turn marker, but if you are beginning, it's good to choose a turn marker. So maybe, oh, there's like no turn markers here. Anyways, you kind of just choose, you know, where you want to be. Maybe, I don't even know where a turn marker could be because this is where I started turning. I did this one out by feel, obviously reversed really hard into this. Now you can see I don't really use the block stop. Like the fastest line that I also will show later uses a line that just dives straight at this corner. Obviously, having this angle is you're using your boat's acceleration to kill your velocity when you can just use this really high coefficient of friction on these normal blocks to kill it. But anyways, didn't do that on this corner, and I want to show this run first where I don't use a block stop. Just to really show everybody, like, you can get really fast times without block stops, all right? I want, like, you know, the 17.75 is faster than most people's PB, and I didn't even use block stops. And so really the lesson you want to take away from here is that you want to learn how to actually drive good. You don't need to rely on super risky block stops to set down really fast times. You just want to you know, get good times. Just drive clean. That's pretty much what I want to say. And hopefully I can provide some insight to how to do that. So anyways, I reverse here. You can see that this corner, and I will pop over here real quick. This corner right here, you can see it reverses It doesn't really reverse. Okay, this isn't really a reverse corner. I don't want to get into this argument. Let's just keep going. But you can see the angle I hold is pointed almost directly in this direction. You can see, boom, I'm pointed mostly in this direction. So like I'm coming down this, I'm pointed this way, and I keep pointing this way around the corner, and then I may let up a little bit, but like I'm pointed, like the reason why this corner was so good was because I'm pointed pretty much directly in this direction the whole time. I'm flying around this corner. And so you can see, like, if I pan forward a few frames, I stay looking in this direction almost exactly in this direction of this straight. So all the acceleration I'm using is helping me start the acceleration down this straight, you know, at the same time as killing off my velocity in this direction. It's also helping me propel myself in this direction. You can technically see, I claim that there's no block stops, but if you look really closely, oh, there was one right there. That's definitely a block stop. So I guess I lied. I used block stop, but I'm kidding. It's not major. So coming down here, this is pretty normal. You go around this corner, you go around this corner. You want to make sure that you use your velocity. You know, the limiting factor around these corners is just to clear these apexes. So I clear this apex, and the only reason I don't want to point straight in this direction is that I want to clear this apex. So I do that as little as possible. Honestly, kind of over-rotated here. Yeah, I didn't have to do it quite like that, and I end up going a little wide there. So I mean, it's good. That's not bad. This corner's a pretty tough one. Also, kind of took this one by feel, but had like a subconscious turn in zone. And so crank it around this corner, boom. See what I do. I do end up going to this outside. Now the reason I end up choosing this outside, there's two lines here on this corner. You can choose an inside line where you end up going on this line, or you can choose an outside line and take the blue ice. Now, it may be, you may look at this and it seems like, okay, yeah, you want to like start from out here and then go the inside because that might be the shortest path. But it's actually better to kind of, I think what I do is I sort of go on this packed ice here, get back onto this blue ice and cut it really close and go around like that. I'm pretty sure I can just use my thing. I'm pretty sure I come down here, go back onto the blue ice, and then sort of go around naturally. Let myself naturally swing back out to this blue ice, because the blue ice is a little bit faster than the packed ice. When you hit more packed ice, it's obviously bad, but even like this, the packed ice is sort of spread out. It's not a true mixed ice, and so some people think it's acceptable. Obviously, you want to dodge this, like, you want to stay on this big all packed ice patch as little as possible. But I found out that like swinging out wide here was much faster for myself, and so that's what I ended up doing on here. And so as you can see, I don't even really take this super close. So like when I'm going around, this is kind of far away. I can definitely get closer to this and save more time. Also, if I get closer to this, I'd be hitting more of this blue ice, which is helping me propel me down this straightaway. So spin wide here, stay on the blue ice, take this, hold the right angle to get close to this corner, kind of trace out this corner, and then, oops, kind of trace out this corner, clear this apex, trace out this corner. Now this section over here is interesting. This section over here is very interesting. So this is quite tuned, quite a bit. So if we can sort of, oh yes, I can F1, perfect. So I F1 so I can't see the screen, boom. All right, so this corner is very interesting. You naturally sort of get spit out this way. You sort of spit out onto this blue ice patch here after clearing this apex. So you kind of go around and you kind of spit out here wide. And so, you know, you have a lot of speed coming into this. Coming down this whole straightaway, you can actually conserve a lot of speed coming through this chicane. And so when you come through the chicane and then come down this straightaway, it's you have a ton of speed going in this direction. You have to kill it all. This is like what I call a reverse corner. And not everybody agrees with me on this, but you have a lot of velocity in this direction, and you have to like almost reverse all of it. You know, you're coming down. It's not quite a 180-degree turn, but this is definitely a reversal of quite a lot of velocity. So basically, by the time you get out onto this straightaway, you want to kill all your velocity in this direction. And so to do that, what I end up doing is I do stay on the blue ice. A lot of people will go onto this packed ice and sort of come wide here, but then you're on this blue ice here. Unless you go onto the packed ice here, I guess that could be fast, but then the thing is, if you go onto this packed ice, you're going to have too much velocity in this direction, and you get spit out onto this packed ice, and that will affect you. And so the most effective way to kind of get through this corner without block stops, and I don't think I use a block stop on this corner. You want to be spit out in this direction, stay on the blue ice. The blue ice will give you as much speed as possible going to get to this little rubber ducky and sandcastle. And then you want to reverse really hard once you get onto this mixed ice. And once you get onto this mixed ice, you kind of want to it's sort of important to grab onto these packed ice right here. It's sort of important to use even though it's only a couple of blocks of packed ice, you can sort of grab onto it, because packed ice is a lot more sticky than blue ice. And if you boat race a really lot, you'll start to feel when you're on blue ice, you cannot turn as fast as when you're on packed ice. This is basically free grip here. So you want to sort of grab onto this packed ice and sort of stay and trace the inside of this corner. And then after that, you get spit out onto this blue ice and then continue down the straightaway. If you come down the packed ice line, it's definitely more consistent and easier to control, but then you have too much velocity going in this direction, you get spit out onto this ice here, this packed ice. The way I do it in this recording is I do it just like I said. And I grab on, turn, reverse, oh, that honestly wasn't even really that good. That was not exactly what I described. You can see I'm trying to grab onto this packed ice, but I think for the most part, I actually stay on mostly blue ice. You can see I grab a little bit of packed ice there, but this is way too wide. This is definitely very wide, but ends up going in here, setting me up. I stay on the blue ice, and so I get the exit speed good out of this corner. So honestly, not bad. Checkpoint 30.5 is not terrible. This corner is interesting. This corner is really interesting. This corner is very strange shaped. There's an obvious apex here that you want to clear, but the lead up to it, you're kind of get spit in this direction, and so this is realistically, this is more than a 180-degree turn. It's because a 180-degree turn would be from here to here. That's a 180, but you're actually coming in this direction with a little bit of velocity in this direction. So this is more than a 180-degree turn. This is more than a full reversal. So this corner is kind of weird. You want to clear this, and then so basically, if you break it down, their goal is to accelerate out of here as quick as possible, which requires you to clear this apex as soon as possible, which requires you to start turning in this direction after coming down this straightaway as soon as possible. And so I will just say, I remember this corner is the spicy one. This corner is pretty spicy. What I do when I come into this corner is, you can see I start turning, I get my velocity. I'm starting my velocity in this direction. I'm sort of starting to kill this direction velocity, start pointing it in this direction. And then I grab onto this packed ice, because as you can see, coming down this whole straightaway right here, you end up with a lot of speed in this direction. You end up with a lot of speed going right into here, and it wants to spit you wide. If you stay on this blue ice, like I said, the blue ice is slippy. If you stay on this blue ice, you'll end up way out here on this packed ice, and so you don't want to do that. So how I end up solving that issue is I end up going hard onto this packed ice. I'm mostly onto this packed ice here, and so that prevents me from spinning wide out here. It's killing off the velocity in this direction, and I even turn a little bit more. Now, as soon as I start killing my velocity, so you can see I come into this with 45 meters per second, I kill a good amount of velocity, and as soon as I kill that velocity, I said this corner was shaped weird, because now that I've effectively killed this velocity going in this direction, I want to go in this direction to clear this, so I need to sort of head in this direction as fast as possible. So I don't want to kill all my velocity in this direction, because obviously I still need to like clear the apex, which is way over here. But I want to also build up my velocity in this direction. So how I actually do that is, after killing enough velocity on the packed ice, I go back onto the blue ice. And you can see right here, I'm pressing the D button because I'm releasing. I'm not really reversing anymore. I'm actually turning into the corner so I can get to this apex as fast as possible. And as soon as I get enough speed into this corner, I start turning, and then it's just go around the apex. And honestly, this is kind of far away. You know, I'm not even touching the powdered snow, so I could have taken that tighter. And then it's accelerate down this straight away. But one thing I want you to pay attention is that this took a lot of feel and a lot of sort of just attempts, practice, experimenting to get this right. But if you pay close attention to my speed bar down here, it looks pretty beautiful. I think there's a point where I keep it like above 30 meters per second throughout most of the corner. And it sort of stutters. You can see when I turn into the corner, like I kill a lot of velocity and then I turn into the corner and conserve a lot of velocity through the corner. Conserving velocity isn't really, a giant thing in boat racing, but like this weird shaped corner, sort of, it's better too. So watch the speed bar. You can see it goes down and then it stays there and then it goes down again. So it stutters right there because that's when I'm turning into the corner here. So it goes down here when I'm on the packed ice, and then it stays right at 30. It stutters here. And then as soon as I start turning again, then it's a full reversal. Exit out of this corner onto the blue ice. Don't be afraid to go wide here. That's all right. I honestly could have gone a little bit even more wide. This BCC looking line, I take it kind of like I took the BCC, the famous BCC corner. This corner, I come down in this direction as fast as I possibly can. I turn all the way into the ice with the most grip in order to kill as much velocity in this direction as I can. I try to start in from the blue ice way over here, and I turn way in, because when you're on this blue ice, even though you're not killing much velocity in this direction, but when you're on the blue ice, you're gaining a lot of velocity in this direction. So I tried, I think, yeah, see, I start turning in on this blue ice, and you can see I'm pressing W here. And so that's so I can start as much velocity in this direction as possible, so I can get around this corner. This is a wide corner, and you want to start a lot of velocity in this direction. So I don't really opt to go in for a really tight line, because then I'm slow going in this direction. I go all the way wide over here so I can start turning as early as possible, and there's blue ice over here, which is an added bonus. So I can start my velocity in this direction, and then I go into the packed ice, same thing, killing my velocity in this direction, go around the corner, and then I naturally let myself swing wide out onto this blue ice. You'll see I go blue ice all the way into packed ice, all the way back out to blue ice, because the blue ice is definitely much faster than this packed ice patch here. And so after that, for this corner, I decide to trace it. I just trace it. I stay close in, and honestly, if you go mixed ice, it's very close. Like a lot of the lines here in this corner are very, very close to each other. But I always opted to stay all the way to the inside and sort of trace this corner until I get about to out here. And then the corner is sort of strange because there's this flat part here. I'll get to that later. I'll show you the part where I come around the famous BCC looking corner. So you can see I start all the way wide, start as much as possible, kill the direction with the sticky ice, swing back out to the blue ice. Sort of didn't even trace it perfectly, but then I trace that corner until about this flat section. Flat section right here is where I start to swing wide again. Zoop! And then I go out, sort of try to grab some of this blue ice. Now, this corner is interesting, as this corner is probably like one of the most interesting corners of the track. I probably should have the chart up for this so I could know what corner this is. It's like turn 13 or 14 or something like that. I probably we'll be better prepared next time with the corner names. But anyway, this corner, so you get spit out wide here, and then, you know, you don't want to trace this anymore. Now I'm like way out here. Ignore that there's room in here. It's actually better to keep your velocity and sort of take it wide going around like this. Now, a lot of people, when they're on the ground, when they're looking at this, where do you go? Where do you think is like the fastest line? When you look at it from this angle, it looks like, okay, yeah, like here's the apex right here. I'm just going to aim for that. But this corner is spicy. This corner is sly. Because if you aim for this apex here, which we're looking at right here, is this section of the corner. If you aim for that and you hit that, you end up going way wide because there is no packed ice to grab on over here. You end up hitting that and going way wide over here, and now you're like all the way over here and you're trying not to hit this edge here. And so this really isn't an optimal apex. And you can't really do it like this corner. Like this corner, I really went very close to the corner. I basically traced it out. You can see I'm in close, and then I go out, you know. So it's not as easy as this corner. This corner you can't trace, and there's sort of a hidden apex here. So basically, you can see I don't go for that apex. Oh, I actually kind of do go for that apex. That was interesting. This is not this is not the best it could possibly be. That was actually a mistake. See, I mean, even I guess, got fooled by it here. I go in for this apex, but you can see what happens is now I'm going away, and now I'm oversteering because this straightaway is not straight in this direction. You know, I'm pointed. I think, yeah, I'm pointed straight into this corner. So like, I'm pointed right in this direction, and the straightaway. I'm pointed right in this direction, and the straightaway wants to go in this direction. So I'm not using all of my velocity to like get myself down this straightaway here. I'm like using some of it right now to kill my velocity so I don't hit this edge over here. So that's not really optimal. I would say actually the best line here is to swing wide here. Ignore this one. Fake apex. Bait apex. You want to go wide around here, sort of come close, and then this is really the apex. I would say this section right here is the true apex. It's a very late apex. I would say if you trace that and come out here, you know, you kind of have to come wide around the start, but then if you trace it out and you can get right on this little diagonal here, that is the real apex. That is what at least I think. Like I said, this corner is spicy. It's got a fake apex. It's got really a very hidden apex, and I would think my hypothesis is the apex is right here. And if you do hit the apex right here, basically if you're tracing this line, there's no way you're gonna like spin wide onto this section. So you can use all your velocity to get down this straightaway. And this is a really long straightaway. Like I can't even see one end to the other with this render distance on. I could if I turned it up, but like this is a long straightaway. So you want to like the faster you can get out of this corner, the more speed you can get out of this corner, the better it's going to be for you. The better your run is going to be. And so like if you don't get good speed out of the corner, then you're accelerating slow. There's no chance to get it back because it's just straight. So the people, like if you have like, okay, let's say for instance, you're going out of this corner 1 block per second faster, right? So like after 1 second, you're 1 block ahead of somebody. But you know, because acceleration is constant in, okay, acceleration is constant, but drag acceleration is not constant in Minecraft. So that's a little bit confusing. Basically, if you can accelerate like 1 block per second faster, or 1.5, or even 2, maybe 5 blocks per second faster, then after 1 second, you're like 5 blocks ahead. After the next, you're like 10 blocks ahead. After the next, you're like probably 14, because then you start to go toward top speed. Maybe then it's like, you know, okay, now you're maybe 17. Now maybe you're like 20 blocks ahead. But you can get a lot. You can gain a really lot. Like if somebody botches this corner and has to kill a bunch of velocity coming out of it, and versus somebody who's taking like this perfect late apex and is using all their velocity to get down the straightaway, they're gonna blow away the person who's like really oversteering to, like, you know, not run into this wall. So make sure when you come out these long straightaways, even though like everybody's always focused on the corner, like, oh, what's the best line around the corner, but make sure like your corners set you up so you're prioritizing long straightaways. You have to prioritize long straightaways on tracks. So let's get back to this and let's finish this. Zoom. You can see I'm spun way wide. I should be way over here, but now I'm sort of, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not a bad run, but like you can see like right here. I'm oversteering right here. And so like I don't get out of that corner as fast as possible, and so this straightaway could be faster. Ooh, yeah. Easy reverse corner. Obviously, like coming down to this corner, there is a little bit of packed ice here. I don't think I really go for the packed ice. I kind of just ignore it. There's some blue ice right here. Let's reverse this a little bit, see what happens. Yeah, I think it's better to get wider here. Don't be baited at the packed ice, like to be grabbed on too. I basically go wider, so I can like, you know, get faster acceleration in this direction going down the final straightaway over here. And so you can see I am still reversing really hard. I end up stop reversing. This was almost a perfect corner. This is pretty much a perfect corner, or it's close to it anyway, because you can see I reverse, but as soon as I hit the blue ice, as soon as I'm now onto this blue ice, I now start hitting A to like give way back into the corner. So when basically what I'm doing is I'm using this mixed ice right here as brakes, and as soon as I get onto this blue ice, I start releasing and start my acceleration in this direction. Like it's like, you know, this was a really well taken corner. So you can see I start turning back in this direction, and now most of my when I press W, most of my acceleration is being used to get towards the finish line, even right now before I even clear the apex. So obviously I get a really good start. Now this was interesting because normally in the beginning of the week I wasn't caring. I was spinning even wider, and you know, if I spin wider and go over here, I can get to this line faster. If I'm out here, I can get to this line. Like maybe I'd already be to this line, and this version of me is like a little bit behind. However, if you go over here and count, you can easily see blue ice is faster than packed ice. We know this already. This is a rule. Over here, 50% of the blocks you hit are packed ice. And over here, it's like 100% blue, 100% blue, 100% blue, 100% packed, but then you're back to 100% blue. So like if you really look at it, you're hitting more blue ice by taking this line than by taking this mixed ice line. Very spicy, because naturally coming around a corner so fast, you want to spin wide out here and then just sort of like trace this over here. But this packed ice here actually does make kind of a significant difference. I learned this because of talking with other people's lines, and it does end up being important. If you can take the last corner good enough, like I did here, you can get enough speed going down this direction and not spin wide over here, you get rewarded by hitting more blue ice, and that allows you to carry more speed through this section. Go through the track, finish line, boom, 117.75. So, I know for this run, I didn't show any block stops. And you don't need block stops to go really fast. I don't think we're at the point yet where the majority of the community can put Allen laps like this. Like, select people absolutely can. I mean, anybody can. It's just, it's hard. It's very hard to put down a really fast lap like this. You know, if somebody is actually still watching this, like me, absolutely nerd out on this, comment nerd emoji, so I know you made it this far. But yeah, in the future, don't rely on block stops. Don't rely on, you know, maybe wall taps. Okay, easy block stops, easy wall taps, yeah, do those. Really difficult block stops, like obviously I'm going to show a run right after this where I end up using turn 1 block stop and the last turn block stop, because those two save a lot of time. Those two save a really lot of time. And then there's more block stops throughout that you can hit. For instance, at the sandcastle corner, you could hit a block stop. Like you could, it's not even really a block stop. It's more like a side scrape is what I like to call it. It's not a full on block stop, but you're using the blocks there to slow down. Absolutely, there's that run. But everybody wants to see the fast run. Everybody wants to see, you know, okay, let's do the really fast run. You can see here, this is not the fastest time that I end up putting down. I end up using the first corner block stop. I end up using the last corner block stop. This is this run. So I've already run through the major analysis points. Everybody likes to see this one because, oh, this is the really fast one. But just know that it's not necessary. You can see that instead of reversing, I kind of just go straight for the block stop. Like I'm not even caring about friction or I'm not even caring about reversing that hard. Probably there's a wall scrape there. There's a side scrape there that you can do. When you go for block stops, you pretty much just aim straight for the thing you're trying to hit. There we go. That corner was okay. One thing about this corner was taken a lot better. I go around like this and I go back. You can see I'm grabbing onto these packed ice a lot better. Stay a lot closer to this and manage to not hit the block. So that was done a lot better. Let's see if the speedometer thing stutters here. Ooh, that was not as good as it could have been. Yeah, definitely wasn't as smooth as it could have been there. Still doing really fast pace here. Start accelerating with the blue ice all the way into the packed ice. That was very close. That was very well taken. Still don't use 100% of the blue ice there. A little bit wide from that corner, so tiny little improvements. Here, though, you can see this is later in the week when I stopped taking this fake apex. I'm still kind of too close to this apex here. But you can see I'm at least searching for this apex. You know, I'm oversteering a little bit, but I'm closer to this than I was in this previous run. So I'm improving. I'm improving by a little bit. This is the crazy part that just buries everybody else. Just zoom. Obviously, you can't bro. That's insane. That's so fast. Come through the line, and that is the fast lap. You don't need it to go fast. Like I said, most people didn't even get to this time, and this time didn't even use block stops. It was just clean driving. Didn't use major block stops. Stuff like this, you can use it if you want to go fast or something, but definitely not needed to put down faster times than a great vast majority of people currently. Hopefully this analysis helps people improve. Hopefully people can take away from this. I show the lines after the race because obviously I don't want to disclose my lines before the race. No, heck no. Don't want to do that. But I do want to give analysis into exactly how I do this stuff. What I think about, what I look at when I'm looking at a track. You can see a lot of stuff. A lot of the explaining I was doing is all about starting my acceleration in the direction that I want to be going after the corner. So like here, it was really good. I pretty much used all my acceleration. I was pointed in this direction. Even way back here, I was still pointed in that direction. So I'm using all of my acceleration to get down this straightaway as soon as possible. Here, I just need to clear this corner. I want to get down this straightaway as soon as possible. You know, the ice choices, you got to pay attention to the ice tuning. Pay really close attention to the ice tuning. Take the blue ice when it's not really hard to get to. Yeah, use the packed ice. Use packed ice to slow you down, both here. You can use it to kill your velocity that you have going in this direction so you don't fly into this corner. You can use the packed ice to slow you down. Again, over here, you can use the packed ice, or what packed ice there is in this section. You can use that to slow you down so you don't crash and end up out here in this logo. And then this is just a spicy corner. This is a really spicy corner. I don't expect a lot of people. Even I was struggling with this corner for most of the week. Don't be fooled by fake apexes. You really got to pay attention. Basically, if there's a long straightaway coming up, even in real racing, late apexes are usually the way to maximize your speed throughout this. So it's something to think about. You need to try something. Obviously, every single track is different. And then coming down here, reverse, but get down. This is a really long straightaway here, and so really you would want max entry speed, but it's also a really long straightaway here, so they kind of end up balancing out. make sure you count blue ice. Take the blue ice when possible. More blue ice equals bigger, more happy face. For everybody. Yeah, I think we are done. So basically, that's all I had for this analysis. Hopefully, people can take away stuff and apply some of the stuff that some of the rules of thumb that I've gone over here. I will be doing this for every track, and maybe other people can start to see patterns and what I do to put down these runs, and they could use it to improve themselves. All right, let's see. I've been going on for like over half an hour now. That is a really long time to go on for a track that's not even a minute and 20 seconds long. So yeah, I'm gonna call it that. Everybody have a nice day, and I will catch you in the next track. See ya.